Welcome to Selling in the Motor Trade, in association with Automotive Management and Simco Training. This is the weekly podcast where we share best practice, tips, and ideas on how to sell more cars, improve your service department, and generally put more profit into your dealership or dealer group. I'm your host, Simon Bowkett, or some of you might already know me as Skippy. And firstly, I want to say thank you for taking the time to tune in. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Selling in the Motor Trade. On the way to the studio this morning, we just heard in the UK that Boris Johnson is stopping all COVID-19 restrictions. Now, I know lots of people listen to this podcast around the world, but that's what's happening in the UK, where we're based. And it got me thinking about the demonstration drive. Should it be an unaccompanied demonstration drive or an accompanied demonstration drive with the salesperson? Now, over the last couple of years, we've had to do unaccompanied demonstration drives, and there's been lots and lots of advantages of that. But now we've got clients saying, hold on, we need to go back to accompanied demonstration drives. In fact, I do have clients that have still been doing accompanied demonstration drives with COVID-19 practices and cleaning the car and masks and actually some barriers in cars. But now's the time, I think, to talk about doing an accompanied demonstration drive. What should your salespeople do? How should they do it? Bear in mind, they may not have done it for the last couple of years. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to do a demonstration drive. We've actually got something from our SalesFitness program. This is a shameless plug, okay, for our SalesFitness program. This is where we send people a video a day for 90 days in the motor trade, because the skills they learn, good and bad, last them for the rest of their life. Now, if you heard the podcast before, you know I say that all the time. Here's the advert. It's only $299, 3 months of training, 100 quid a month, and you guys are trained. It's one SuperGuard sale, you've got it there. So contact the office if you want that. This is just a segment from the demonstration drives, okay? This was shot before COVID-19, and we talk about how to do an accompanied demonstration drive. So listen, sit back and enjoy this one. You might want to forward this on to everyone in your sales team. And also, I'm going to ask you to go and, with this podcast, like the podcast, send us a comment, please. Share it with people because it really does help. We want to get the Selling in the Motor Trade podcast out to as many people in the motor trade as possible. Anyway, so enjoy this episode and let us know what you think. I'll see you next time. Hi guys. Today we want to talk about the demonstration drive. Oh, and you'll notice I've called it a demonstration drive, not a test drive. That's a bit of a play on words, but you see, I don't believe test drives work anymore. That's right, I don't. In fact, I don't believe test drives ever worked. But I do believe demonstration drives work. And what we need to do is we need to demonstrate the right feature to the right customer at the right time. So let's do those demonstration drives. Oh, and by the way, can you sell a car without a demonstration drive? Yeah, of course you can. You have, I have, we all have. But I would argue, why bother? There's not exactly a crowd control job in your businesses at the moment. You haven't got a whole lot of rubber bullets keeping people back. People aren't taking a number like at a delicatessen or a Clark's shoe shop and waiting their turn, okay? Let's go on the demonstration drive to raise the desire, because you know what? The demonstration drive will never harm, but can just help the sale, okay? Raise the desire, so make sure you do the demonstration drives. Now, when you do the demonstration drives, you might just drive out of the dealership to start with. We always drive first, don't we, okay? But then pull up down the road and let the customer drive. But how often do you feel like a driving instructor? Turn left here, turn right there, up over the roundabout, okay, next on the right. In fact, sometimes, don't your customers say that? Feels like a driving test. That's the worst thing you're going to get in the customer's subconscious mind. How comfortable did you feel on your driving test? I wasn't comfortable either. Do we want to put that thought back in their mind? No, of course we don't, okay? So with the demonstration drive, you might want to try this approach now. Instead of coming out of the dealership and turning left, 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 as we were taught to do, or if you're in America, turning right, 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 you might try a demonstration group where you drive out halfway. Stop the car. Oh, and you're driving the whole way. Turn the car around 180 degrees and then let the customer drive back. 95% of the time, where's the customer going to drive straight back to? Right back to the dealership without you having to say anything. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Hold on, Simon. If I'm driving out halfway, you've already told me I need to double the length of my demonstration drive, okay? Are they not going to feel like, can I not drive the car? Yeah, you'd be right if you're doing a test drive. But if you're doing a demonstration drive, I think it'll work. So on the way out, you can talk something about the car, something about the people, something about the car, something about the people. And we have so much technology on the modern car. Let's demonstrate the active lane departure warning system. Let's demonstrate the adaptive cruise control. Let's demonstrate even the electronic power steering now, not hydraulic. As we come out of the dealership, you see how light it is. But when my speed increases on the straight road, it actually firms up. In fact, for such a small car, it feels a lot more stable on those long journeys down to London, down to Exeter, wherever you're going. See how that's a demonstration. You want to talk about the start-stop technology. There's so many things we can demonstrate on the way out. So what I like to do is demonstrate something about the car, then talk about the people. Hey, you guys here on a Thursday? Are you on a day off or holidays? Oh, sorry, you did say a day off. Oh, that's right, school teacher, aren't you? So you have the 2 weeks off? Big kids or little kids? Then something about the car. Hey, also this car has actually got the adaptive cruise control. So I'm going to set this cruise control to 120 kilometers an hour. You'll notice that the lane in front of me, there's a car there. It's going to accelerate right up to, there's a safe distance between myself and the car in front. But as soon as that car moves into the middle lane, and the fast lane is now free, it accelerates right up to my preset speed. You know what? In Europe, cruise controls are just not worth using, not worth having, unless there's some adaptivity to it, because the roads are just too busy. With this, I notice a lot of my customers are saying their journeys are so much more relaxed. So, something about the car, the people. Car, the people. Now, when you stop, I love golf course car parks midweek because they tend to be empty and quiet. Okay? Park the car up and there's 5 things we're going to do before you get out. Let's see if you can remember them. Number 1, put the seat back, because I've got short little legs. If you're tall and jump in the car after I've driven it, you're going to think it's so tiny. Number 2, you might want to adjust the rear vision mirror out of alignment so the customer has to set it up perfectly for themselves when they get in. Then the fuel. I love to reset the fuel trip computer now. Not at the beginning of your journey. Do it now, because the car has had time to warm up. Okay? And turn around and say, hey, Mr. Customer, the fuel consumption of this car is going to be 56 miles per gallon. But we all know they're done under test conditions. So why don't we reset this now and see what you're going to achieve on the way back to the dealership? Reset the fuel trip computer now, because they're going to have a look at it anyway. And don't do it at the beginning of your journey, because any internal combustion engine, it needs a few miles to warm up to start with. Next one. I'll give you a hint. You can only do this on a top of the range car. Do you know what I'm going to do now? Yeah, it's the satellite navigation. Set up the satellite navigation. That's why we like to do a route that's halfway out, halfway back. Because now on the way back, instead of me saying anything, I got the satellite navigation telling them where they need to go. Okay, last one, take the keys with you. Now, I'm not taking the keys out because of car thieves there, okay? It's a lot rarer than you think, okay? I know I'm dealing with the people who are experienced salespeople now. And yes, we've all heard the stories, but it's still very rare, isn't it? Now, I'm taking the car keys out with me, so I've got control. Another little tip. It took me too long to learn this one. Whilst you're still sitting in the driver's seat, you got hubby and wife there beside you, show them where all the controls are. This is how to adjust the steering wheel. That's your start-stop function here, okay? This is where the automatic wipers are. Show them where everything is. Because have you been sitting in the back? They're trying to find the start-stop function to switch it off because they can't get their head around it. And you're having to lean through and say, no, no, push the button with the A on it. No, 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 that would be the hazards, wouldn't it? No, it's the button on your left. No, no, that would be the other left, wouldn't it? We've all been there. Show them all the controls while you're sitting there and then take the keys out. Now, when they're driving the car, primarily be quiet. There's magic in wrapping the metal around the people. Let them fall in love with it until 5 minutes before you get back to the dealership. Then we're going to start the mental ownership questions. And people have to take mental ownership before they actually take actual ownership. That just leaves me to say that all details of this episode and other episodes on the selling in the motor trade can be found on our website, simcotraining.co.uk. Go there to get a copy of our book, Words That Sell Cars. Go there to sign up to a free trial of our SalesFitness online sales training program. Easiest way to get hold of me is Simon Bowkett through LinkedIn. Thank you.